First light cuts across the dust, another day of dirt and rust. Got this ache inside my bones for the green.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing a little different. As I said in the last video, if you've been able to watch it, I'm making a mod called Apex Guidance. My goal is, which has changed, my goal is that we're going to make this a generic version of the Green Star system, fence system, Trimble. So I thought what I'd do is, I was trying to get this to a version 1 so we could release it, but we've took the decision to not redo all of it because we've got some systems which I'll show you today and sort of make it better. So it is literally like using the Green Stars and on market RTK systems what are out on the market. So like I'll probably create Green Star quite a bit today, but like every GPS you start off with this, you are able to field boundaries, do your field boundary. So we'll start by doing that. So all you have to do is drive your boundary. I like doing it on a quad or in a gator, sort of half on the edge, half on the field. You drive your boundary. Excuse me if you heard that. So this field, I've ploughed up a hedge. So I've joined two fields together. But it has been working. But it doesn't matter if you have individual fields like this was. As you can see, I'm now coming up to where the boundary was between the two. You drive your boundary. It will save automatically. When we get back to the other end, you'll see it. But it closes itself off the loop. So that you don't have to do any more button presses. Which hopefully, if we can get it sorted, this will all be done on a screen type HUD. So we're looking like the Green Stars and the fence, which are the two we've got pictures of, screen. So you'll have your field data, all that on your screen like in normal cabs. You can look, once we're done this, we have to do the AB line like in normal. At the minute it isn't connect, or we haven't done it, but we're looking to do AB curve as well. And there's going to be a lot of changes from what you see in this video to what will hopefully be released. Now, I'm not promising that it'll be released for 25. If it's not, it will be released for the new game as and when it comes, because we'll have it all there. Just need a little testing to make sure it all correlates with the new game, but it's a combination of I'm 41, but for the first 28 years of my life, we were farmers. We had 90, well, the family altogether, we had 300 odd acres, but I predominantly worked 90 of them acres. And there were good mods out there, like, I call it EV, but I can't think what it's called. The GPS system, the headland guidance, but I never found that they worked properly together how I wanted them to how I knew that they worked in real life. So I've partnered with Claude AI, and this is what we've got so far. As I say, we're working on changing it, but it takes time. And I want to bring out the best we can, because I know what it should do real life, and I'm not bragging. I know what it should do, so I want to bring you guys as close to real life as possible, because I want it. And that isn't being bragging, selfish, knocking other mods. It's what I feel should be in game anyway, but there you go, that's another conversation for another day. Right, so as you can see, the line in the distance is where we started, but we're still dragging out the line, so us following the field boundary like it should. So when they're coming up, that's for a showpiece in a little while for this. But when they back to the start, and as you'll see in a second, that out and they disappear. That's your boundary now saved. So what I'll now do is come over here, and come off the headlands. Right, so I'm now looking eyeing up a tree down the bottom. We press A light button. So that's now your A point set. So we now drive to the other end of the field. Which, as I say, I'm doing the old school way of trying to get a straight line using the trees down the bottom for reference. So when they get into the join, when they gone over the join, so we're still doing our AB line. So when they're coming up, so I'll now stop here, press the B button. When they got our AB lines, save that, and we're done. So if we now go through, there's your map. So that's now your map of the field, what we're now created. And with this, yeah, if I scroll through, hang on. I scroll through to this and adjust it. You can see the purple lines, that's your headlands. So the mod will drive, or the guidance will drive your headlands as well as the AB line. So it's an all-in-one at the minute. I've found in the testing I've done that it works well. Get off it. So I'll pause it here and get back to the yard, and I'll show you some of the bits else it can do. Right guys, I'm gonna chop and change vehicles quite a bit in this video, but I want to show you what we got, what it can do, different vehicles or different implements at the minute. So we're now going to do some ploughing. First stage of field prep. So I'm going to try and do it so we go from field start to field end, and so we can do it, so I can show you that it does work as it stands. So the first step, if you look to the bottom left of your screen, we bring up load your lines, that's your AB line. So with this one, we've got the implement saved. It's on 5.5 meters with a 22 meter headland. So if I back up, hang on, let me get centered. Press engage, drop the plough, engage the auto drive. So yeah, now on your guidance line. Because that's behind the tree. Ploughing away. Now this one I'll show you simply the turn, manual turn. On some of the next ones you'll see we have got an auto turn and lift feature. But as I say, it is usable, but it isn't where I'd like it. So I would like this to be a rock solid or up to RTK. We've got ideas of doing 3 levels. So entry level, you buy it from the shop when you buy your tractor. You just get your AB line. If you go for the middle stage, you get the what do you get? Auto turn and lift feature. If you go for the big package, you then get it to RTK standard, so that you've got your sub-inch accuracy, and you can go from there. You can see us a little up in the air at the minute on there. So if we now slow down on the guidance path, that could be me, but we are now going over your headland line, which you can see I've set the headland boundary line. If I just go back into here, I'm manually turning this. Turn the plough over. So each time you hook onto a line, the lines move for going across the field. So we're now back online, or where we now lifted out. So you hook back up. Drop your plough and you're away again. So this is your start, what I call start of the year. Your field prep, or some of your field prep. The next bit I'll show you in a second is your what else it can do. So we'll get to the end of this row and we'll move on. You can see us about 8 inches at the minute, but a lot of that could be down to the way the plough is leaning and pulling off. But you've got your guidance, and in cab you can see it isn't that far off the line at the front. So to say it's adequate, but not what I want, because you got the roll of it as well. So but it is fairly decent to what we've got, considering this is about 2 months of work. I'm pretty chuffed with it, but it isn't where I want it to be, and it isn't where I want it to be to release it to you guys. Because, as I say, I'd like to get to the RTK sub-inch accuracy for it, but it will get there. So once again, we're now back to the top again, so I'll slow us down. And lift up. So that's your first step of ploughing, or using it for ploughing. I just hope this next one has got the oomph to do it. Could be a little underpowered for what we're wanting, but so one of the good things we have got working for it is, so what have we got this set up as? I've got this on a 30-metre headland. That's 6 metres. So you just look at the HUD on the bottom left again. That's now the implement saved for it. So we start up. I'm just going to drive a little of this. Because this is near the headland. So if we just engage our steering again. With this, I'm getting some cover crop in the ground. But you can see on this one, that's really around that 4 inches, 10 centimetre range and lower. So that's now what, just under 2 inches. So this is was territory. So now we're off the headland guide lines. What we can do is, if we go to auto, and we've now got a turn setting. So at the end of this row, we can turn on to the next row. But what I'm going to do is, we've set it for a limit of 2 because that was getting a bit iffy at the end. But we've now got you can skip rows across. So if I now come out again, what it'll do is, when it get near the headland, we should, if I start slowing down, we're now in a headland warning. Gone the wrong way. Sorry about that. Excuse her. Next line. It should go drop down. So we want to turn right this time. So we'll get to the end and hopefully this time that'll work right. It should The only thing we haven't got working on this stage is a front implement, but that's in the works. As you can see, when we're not ploughing, we're at about sort of 4-inch. But us fighting to stay on that line to give you the accuracy. So hopefully it'll work great on the turn. I'll show you that, and then we'll go to the next bit. But no, as I say, we've got a lot in the works, and at the end I'll bring up our plan, just talk you through it, so you can see what we're sort of hoping to achieve, and go from there. So say this is usable now, but it isn't as stable, especially on the line holding. As you can see, us turning. I know we're now going back onto what we've done, but that's the... I stopped that there. That's the turn function, so I'll just go to the next bit, and I'll show you that. Alright guys, for this one we're drilling a barley for the year. So as you can see, if I zoom out, we're on a bigger implement. And once again, I was holding line quite well. But on this one, what I'm going to show you, hopefully, is if it worked properly, turn onto your next line. So on the first one, we now tried to do the skip line. On this, it'll just turn back and forth to your line to get you in work. So once I get down to the other end of the field, I'll come back and show you what it should do. Right guys, we're now coming up to the headland again. So hopefully this will work this time. So start slowing down. Coming up to your headland. I'm doing nothing here bar the speed control. Lifting, turn away. as you can see, being on having the boundary done allows for odd-shaped fields to be lifted on the line we've gotten in a boundary line. So it should be around the same perfect as you go. So it should lift and lower in the right spots. So because we're now getting into a narrower bit, that should give you a little more lower down, speed up. And away you go again. So that's your turn functions, and basically you're just going back and forth and letting it do its thing. So the next bit will be fertilisation, so I'll catch up with you there. Right guys, we're in the sprayer now, which you can see obviously. What I'm not going to be putting product down, but this is your headland guidance. You go round the field I'll go round the field for you on your width, and obviously you can apply your product, and with being the RTK system, or kind of system, theoretically we should be on our tram lines for adding, so you can have it for your field then. I know I'm cocking this all up and I'm sorry, but you should be able to have your width all correct. I've hit a tree. Your width's all correct and you can use guidance for it. What I'm hoping to do is, we've got no proper turn function for this, so I'm hoping to get it so we have more turn functionality. But that's part and parcel of the next build, and hopefully improve. As you can see, we're going around the headlands, or headland, 36 metres, and that's your headland system. The only thing I will say on here is, at the minute we haven't got a lift lower function because the corners are a bit messed up, but it will follow the lines. You just have to, if you're harvesting or cultivating, ploughing, you just have to lift up yourself. But it follows the field boundary, no problem. And we get the coverage. So I was going to show you it working for the harvesters, but you've basically seen all of it. So what I'll add in editing is, I will add and just go through for you to read the plan going forward and what we're hoping to achieve, and go from there. So say, what I'll do is, with these videos, I won't show you the modern bit because that's testing, going back and forth, but I will add or do updates as and when we get the bits added so you can see the progress along with what I can see and go from there. If anyone's got any questions for it, which I'll just talk through this, going around this next bit, because we've got a shaped or curved headland coming up, boundary. If you got any questions, know anything, suggestions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you and go from there. I will say with this isn't a video bragging and showing off something what isn't available. I'm not like that. I don't like that in the community, the farm and FS community as a whole. This is going to be released, as I say, if it's not released for 25, definitely for the next game, depending how long it takes to get done. But as you can see, hopefully we'll now see, it will follow. I'll just slow down. But it follows odd shapes, the shape of the field. So you've got a true-ish headland system to go with it, with the AB lines, which I'll now stop there because we're going to hit the tractor. But as I say, through editing, down the editing, I'll add the action plan we've got, me and Claude have got together with, and we'll move on from there. So you can see it, you can hopefully enjoy this, which I know I haven't, I'm rushing and a bit tongue-tied, but I'll say I'm nervous with this because I'm making it, or partly making it, but I'm reasonably proud of what we have achieved with it so far. And I know the internet can be a bitter place, so it's just a case I'm a bit nervous showing this off, because that isn't me, sort of showing off what I've done. It's more a case of Claude suggested doing the videos so you guys can see the updates along with it, and I'll try. I say, if you've got any comments, questions, suggestions, leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer the best I can. If not, I will pass them over to Claude for technical stuff so you can get a technical answer and we'll go from there. Just while I'm finishing up here, it's what I left to show you are that's your mapping system, which is very basic. We're going to improve that. This bit, you can adjust your work width, your headland width. If you want a little overlap, you can adjust the timings. So, like in hydraulics on a tractor, or you can adjust it. And the last bit is your field dimensions, or your field acreage, their acreage done, and how much is left. I know there's bits and pieces on there what are overlapping, just like the first bit here. You got your track error and track and error. you're heading in degrees. So you can see full use of the HUD. So what we're going to do is we're going to redo all that so it's crisp, cleaner, and hopefully be very useful. So hopefully up on the edit I'll now have on screen the first bits of the document we've made, of what we got and what we're going to do. And apart from that, all what's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative, and as and when we make progress, I'll update you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. First light cuts across the dust. Another day of dirt and rust. Got this ache inside my bones for the green.